Any petition? Petition? Go ahead, Honorable. Go ahead, Honorable Mana.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I am Honorable Aniekan Umana, member representing the people of Abak, Etimeko, Ika Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I have a petition here from the Palace of His Royal Highness, the Abak of Abak, Obong Ifyok Umana Nkokoro the 7th, requesting the assistance of Mr. Speaker in the reinstatement of Mr. Enobong Odo, my constituent, resident in Abak Town, who was dismissed from the Nigerian police for an offense he did not commit. He took the matter to the court, up to the Court of Appeal, which discharged and acquitted him on May 20th. And since then, the authorities have not made any effort to reinstate him. Mr. Speaker, this petition has been duly appended to and signed. I seek your leave to tender the petition, sir.
Yes, Honorable Mana, go ahead, please. Lay your petition. Any other petition on this side? Honorable Fatwa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, I'm Honorable Fatwa Olushola, member representing Ado Ekiti, therefore the Federal Constituency. I'm from Ekiti State. Mr. Speaker, I have a petition from one of my constituents, one Irene Ekweso, and the petition is against the unlawful dismissal by Nigerian Communication Satellite, NICOMSAT Limited. The prayer is for the withdrawal of unlawful dismissal and payment of all arrears of salaries allowances of January 2015 to date, and restatement of my position as legal advisor to the company secretary. NICOMSAT with my proper placement position. Thank you, sir. Please kindly permit me to lay the petition, sir.
Step aside so that.
Sorry, yes, please go ahead and lay your report. Any other report on this side? This column? Is that it? All right. I haven't seen it. Okay. All petitions refer to the Committee on Public Petitions. Honorable Soko. Is Honorable Soko here? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Pam Jimin Soko. I represent the good people of Buruku Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning on order April 4 to bring a matter of urgent public importance on the need to restore Nyamato State constituency of Benue State. I seek your leave, Mr. Speaker, to go ahead and present.
Any seconder? Seconder? Honorable Jimo.
I stand to second the motion as moved by my colleagues. Thank you.
Honorable Soko, just read your motion real quick so we can move on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Pam Jimin Sopo. I speak for the good people of Buruku Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Benue State. The House notes that Nyamaso State constituency in Buruku local government area existed amongst other state constituencies in Benue State under the 1979 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The House also notes that Nyamato State constituency was made up of 8 council wards in Buruku local government area of Benue State, including Bakam, Bayaka, Bakura, Batio, Bade, Bazage, Etulo, and Shoro. Aware that Nyamato State constituency produced members into the Benue State House of Assembly from 1979 until the Third Republic was aborted by the military in 1993. Also aware that the Independent National Electoral Commission Establishment Decree number 17 of 1998 established the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Further aware that Section 4 of the Decree number 17 of 1998 mandated INEC to conduct elections into offices as provided under the 1979 Constitution of Nigeria. The functions of the Commission shall be, that's Section 4, organize, conduct, and supervise all the elections and matters pertaining to elections into all the elective offices provided in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1979, as amended, or any other enactment of law. Concerned that INEC acted outside the statutory mandate under Decree number 17 of 1998 and excluded Nyamato State constituency, which existed under the 1979 Constitution of Nigeria in the conduct of the 1999 elections. Further notes that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 came into effect on the 2nd of May 1999. Again aware that sections 91 and 112 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 provides as follows. Subject to the provisions of this Constitution, a House of Assembly of a state shall consist of 3 or 4 times the number of seats which the state has in the House of Representatives, divided in a way to reflect as far as possible.
Honorable colleagues, please, can you have your seats and listen in, sir?
Okay, we'll just put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Thank you, Honorable Soko. Honorable Kabiru Tukuru, then the leader of the opposition. Honorable Kabiru.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Kabir Ibrahim Tukura. I represent Zuru, Fakai, Donko, Sagu, and Sakaba Federal
What do we do about
Constituency of Kebbi
that?
State. I rise on House Rules Order 8 Rule 4 to seek the leave of this Honorable House to present a matter of urgent public importance on the urgent need to deploy additional security forces to Donko, Sagu, and Sakaba local government areas of Kebbi State to address the rising security challenges in the state. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Ben, have you briefed the House on your motion? What it's about? Any seconder? Honorable Mansour. Soro.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Madusoro Mansour, that is the Gunjua Federal Constituency. I rise this morning to second the motion heavily moved by my brother, Honorable Kabir Tukra. I so second.
Those in support that this is urgent and important, please say aye. Those against will say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Kabir, move your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My motion is on the urgent need to deploy additional security forces to Donko, Sagu, and Sakaba local government areas of Kebbi State to address the rising security challenge in the state. Note that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, provides that the security and property of the people shall be the primary responsibility of government. Further note that considering the current rise in security challenges in Donko, Sagu, and Sakaba local government areas, and indeed across the country, it is apt to state that the government has not done enough to secure the lives and properties of the good people of the local government areas to enable them to go about their everyday life. Aware that the bandits move in hundreds from town to town searching for cattle to rustle, farm produce to cut away, and people to abduct. In some cases, the homes of the residents are entirely burnt down, thereby rendering them homeless. Besides, many of their victims have been maimed, while women, both old and young, are raped. Further aware that these bandits now conduct their criminal operations in the daytime, riding on hundreds of motorcycles with not less than 2 to 3 of them on each bike, fully armed without any challenge from law enforcement officers. Sounds of gunshots polluting the airspace. Their bullets fall anyone who come across them. With this sad turn of events, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, it is about time this honorable House consider legislation seeking to permit citizens to bear firearms. This is with a view to protecting themselves from the ravaging scourge of bandits, terrorists, and separatists alike. Worried that these bandits have continuously laid siege to these local governments without any hindrance. According to reports, about 5,000 cattle and 3,000 sheep have been rustled in the last 1 week alone. Further worried that the local governments have been suffering silently in the hands of bandits in recent months, a situation that has led to the overstretching of security agencies beyond their limits. The farming communities in the local governments have lost over 500 persons to banditry and terrorist attacks. Furthermore, more than 201 individuals were kidnapped with millions of naira paid as ransom. Concerned that the security situation in the region has gone from bad to worse, recently in Koro, Kimi, Gaya, Dimi, Zulu, Rafingora, Delanko, Diwengwe, Chunoko, and Unashi villages, all in Donko Sagu local government, it was confirmed by the police command that bandits killed 88 people. However, upon on-site assessment in the affected areas, we discovered that the number of deaths stands above over 150. Further concerned that over 15,000 people have been rendered homeless. The number of widows is on a steady rise. Children cannot go to school. Farmers do not have access to their farmlands, and local markets are closed. They are now becoming poorer and poorer, and above all, the local primary schools cannot accommodate the internally displaced persons in the affected communities. Hence the need to site 2 IDP camps within the contagious communities ravaged by this carnage.
Honorable members, please take your seats. Take your seats. Somebody is moving a motion. Please take your seats.
Safe havens considered. Safe havens considered are Bena and Dirindaji. resolves to urge this Honorable House to urgently 1. Call on the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces to direct all law enforcement agencies to embark on a massive recruitment drive to boost the numbers of law enforcement agents in the current onslaught against banditry, terrorism, and separatists across various fronts in the country. 2. Direct the Inspector General of Police to, as a matter of urgency, set up a mobile police-based unit at Unashi and Merere village under the Wasagu Chiefdom, which is the major route of the bandits. Call on the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to provide relief materials to victims in the affected areas and to set up 2 IDP camps as a matter of urgency to provide temporary shelter to the over 15,000 internally displaced persons in the 2 local governments as obtained by global best practice. This should be immediate considering the overstretched position of the state, and to observe a 1-minute silence in honor of all the departed souls in the country due to terrorism, banditry, and the separatist movements. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. I think we should take the 1-minute silence now, just in case. Honorable Kabir, Honorable Tukur, one of your prayers was for a minute silence, right? I think we should take it now. Let's rise for a minute silence. Where the souls of the departed rest in peace. Honorable Bamidele Salam, you might need to take, you might need to ask for suspension of the rules. This is our 3rd motion of urgent public importance. Honorable Salam.
I represent the fantastic people of Ede North, Ede South, and Ede Rejibo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Osun State. I rise to ask, with your kind permission, Mr. Speaker, that we suspend the relevant rules of the House to enable me to take a motion of public importance on the issue
Chairman Custom, take your seat.
Of the Naira against the dollar and other international
Chairman
currencies.
Custom.
Mr. Speaker, I so move to ask for your leave to suspend relevant rules to allow me to take
Chairman
the motion.
Custom.
Thank you.
So you're not even here. You're not there here at all.
Okay. Honorable Ododo.
Speaker, I remain Olododo Cook Abdulgadi, representing the good people of Ilorin East, Ilorin South Federal Constituency. I'm from Kwara State, State of Harmony. Mr. Speaker and colleagues, I rise to support the motion raised by my friend, Honorable Babatunde Salam. I so second.
So I'm going to put the question on whether to suspend our rules to take this 3rd matter and whether it's important enough. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Bamidele, remove your motion.
Yet. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, my name is Bamidele Salam, and I represent the fantastic people of Ede North, Ede South, Ede Rejibo Federal Constituency of Osun State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to move a motion of urgent public importance on the need for the Central Bank of Nigeria to urgently put in place monetary policies to stop the free fall of the naira against the dollar and other international legal tenders. Note that in February this year, the governor of the CBN, while addressing the Bankers Committee at a summit on the economy in Lagos, informed the committee about the naira devaluation against the USD. He added that the exchange rate stood at 410 naira to the dollar, which was 7.6% weaker than the rate of 379 published on the website of the CBN on that same date. Further note that while the value of the naira relative to the US dollar has declined by 9% in the last 6 months, the South African rand and the Ghanaian cedi have appreciated by 11.4% and 1% respectively. For instance, further details as presented show that in January of 2021, the naira's official rate was 377 naira. But by June 7th of this year, it has moved up to 411 naira. The South African rand, on the other hand, has exchanged for about 15.14 rand to the US dollar in January and gone to 13.41 rand as of June of this year. Same thing with the Ghanaian cedi, which has appreciated by 5.8% in the last 6 months. Aware that the CBN has adopted multiple exchange rates since last year in a bid to avoid an outright devaluation, the official rate used as a basis for budget preparation and other official transactions differ from a closely controlled exchange rate for importers and for investors and exporters known as the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Rate Fixing Methodology, the NAFEX. The naira has traded in a tight range between 400 naira to 430 naira, which has closed at 502 naira in the parallel market, which is regarded as illegal by the CBN. Further aware that some experts believe that Nigeria devalued the naira to record low against the dollar on the official market, which is a strategy to unify multiple exchange rates to boost the dollar supply through direct interventions. Concerned that devaluation is likely to cause inflation because imports will be more expensive due to the dependence on raw materials imported into the country, while aggregate demand increases will cause demand pull on inflation. Further concerned that devaluation of the naira makes life more difficult for Nigerian youth, especially those in the IT sector whose businesses are online and must necessarily transact businesses in the US dollars. It also produces real wages as well as result into low wage growth and rising costs on goods and services. Worried that enormous and rapid devaluation may scare off international investors, it makes investors less willing to hold government debt because it effectively reduces the actual value of their holdings. Further worried that if consumers have debts,
Honorable Sages, take your seat.
they will see a sharp rise in the cost of their debt repayment after devaluation. Mr. Speaker, the House therefore resolves, 1, to urge this Honorable House to direct the CBN to urgently put in place a policy to check further devaluation of the naira and direct the House Committee on Banking and Currency to ensure compliance as well as report back to the House for 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Straightforward. Put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Okay, we didn't even second that motion before. Yes. SMA.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Said Musa Abdullahi. I represent the people of Bida, Bako, Kacha Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Niger State. Mr. Speaker, I rise
on behalf of the members of the Niger Caucus to present a motion.
Oh, no. No, I wanted somebody to second Honorable Bamidele's.
Okay.
So you might as well go ahead and second.
Okay.
We're not taking your motion today. It's for tomorrow. That was our thought. Your own will be number 4. We can't do that. It's 12:30.
Okay, I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my big brother, Honorable Bamidele Salami. I so second, sir.
Yeah, we know you're always concerned about Niger State, but we'll take it tomorrow. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Musa Sekiada. Honorable Musa Sekiada. Honorable Musa Sekiada, he's coming to see you. Honorable members, the first business of the day is presentation of 23 bills. Leader of the opposition. What's your point of order before leader of opposition? What's your point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise under Order 8, Rule 5. Personal explanation, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, let's finish with the urgent public importance. I think that's what the leader has, and then we'll take your personal explanation.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Ndodi Godwin Elmelu, and I represent the good people of Anocho Shimle Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, I want to plead for the Dodgers of the House to enable me take this matter of urgent national importance, bearing in mind that we've exceeded the limit for the day. If it's the wish of the House, I will go straight. It's a very brief motion that borders on revenue mobilization.
The leader of opposition has pleaded that we indulge him to take this matter, even though we've gone beyond the House rules limit, and he's asked that we suspend that. Any seconder? Leader.
My name is Honorable Gideon Goni. I come from Kaduna State. I represent Kaura Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion heavily moved by the leader. Say second.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor by the leader to suspend our rules. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Leader. Ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Ndodi Godwin Elmelu, and I represent the good people of Anocho Shimle Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. The House note that Section 162, Section 2 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, explicitly provide that the President shall, after receiving the report of the Commission, should forward same to the National Assembly. The House further note that Section 162, Sub 2 provide that inter alia, that the President, upon the receipt of the advice of the Revenue, Mobilization, Allocation, and Fiscal Commission, shall table before National Assembly proposals for revenue allocation from the Federation account, and in determining the formula, the National Assembly shall take into account the allocation principles, especially those of population, equality of state, internal revenue generation, land mass, terrain, as well as population density, provided that the principle of derivation shall be constantly reflected in any approved formula as being not less than 13% of the revenue accruing to the Federation account directly from any natural resources. The House is aware that revenue sharing proposals have been sent to the President countless times, and yet none of these proposals have ever been brought to National Assembly for legislative approval. The House is further aware that revenue sharing is one of the key issues that is vital to resolving the sharing formula issues and true fiscal federalism. The House is concerned that the continued disregard for this constitutional provision upset the national peace and create fiscal inequality. The House therefore resolved that the House urge federal government to submit the report of the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission to National Assembly for legislative actions. The House further mandate the House Committee on Finance to invite Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission to appear before them for further explanation as to the issue of the report within 4 weeks. I so move.
Honorable Osai.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Osai Nicholas Osai. I represent the Kwani Federal Constituency of Delta State. I rise to second the motion. Every move by my minority leader, I so second.
Thank you, Honorable. Well, that's a very good motion, but let me clarify. Does the language of the Constitution, does it say the Revenue Mobilization Commission refers straight to National Assembly, or is it the executive that brings it? So, okay, so it's not the executive that, it's the Mobilization Commission itself. Okay, okay. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Personal explanation, Honorable Zakaria.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Honorable Zakaria Doda Nyampa, member representing the good people of Madagali-Michika Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I seek the indulgence of the House and the leave of the Speaker to come under Order 8, Rule 5, personal explanation on the death of my constituents, Barrister Ahmed Ali Burak. Barrister Ahmed Ali Burak, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, is an astute politician, a lawyer, a father, and a parliamentarian. He served this country in so many capacities, even as advisor to the president, and still working for the betterment of this country. Mr. Speaker, he was shot in Imo State on 30th of May and died on the spot. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, he is a father and the man from my constituency. We are grieved. Mr. Speaker, I seek that his death be investigated thoroughly in order to let the killer taken into justice. Mr. Speaker, I also seek that a minute silence be taken for Barrister Ahmed Ali Burak for God to repose his soul. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues.
Thank you, Honorable Ahmed. No, there's no need for a second. It's a personal explanation. Indeed, the death of Ahmed Gulak came as a surprise to all of us. He has indeed served this country, and as Honorable Zakaria Dauda has said, we do hope that the authorities dig into the cause of death, or how he died, and who fish out the killers. We'll rise for a minute silence in his honor. May his soul rest in peace. Honourable members, the first business of the day is presentation of 23 bills. I now invite the clerk to read their short title.
Honourable Speaker, honourable members, Harmonized Retirement Age for Teachers in Nigeria Bill 2021, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2021, first reading. Federal College of Medical Laboratory Science, JOS, Establishment Bill 2021, first reading. Modibo Adama University Teaching Hospital, Yola, Establishment ETC Bill 2021, first reading. Federal University of Technology, Laro, Establishment ETC Bill 2021, first reading. Armed Forces Act Amendment Bill 2021, first reading. Police Act Amendment Bill 2021, first reading. National Security and Civil Defense Corps Act 2003 Amendment Bill 2021, first reading. National Security and Civil Defense Corps Act 2007 Amendment Bill 2021, first reading. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Act Amendment Bill 2021, first reading. Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act Amendment Bill 2021, first reading. Customs and Excise Management Act Amendment Bill 2021, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2021, first reading. ECOWAS Convention on Small Arms, Light Weapons and Ammunition Ratification and Enforcement Bill 2021, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2021, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2021, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2021, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2021, first reading. Chartered Institute of Development and Social Studies Establishment ETC Bill 2021, first reading. National Security Agencies Act Amendment Bill 2021, first reading. National Youth Empowerment Development Commission Establishment ETC Bill 2021, first reading. National Excessive Flood Management Commission Bill 2021, first reading. Federal University of Agriculture, Kayama Establishment ETC Bill 2021, first reading.
The second business of the day is presentation of 3 reports of the Committee on Environment, standing in the name of Honorable Johnson Oguma. Honorable Oguma is invited to present the report.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and my respected colleagues. I am Honorable Johnson Oguma. I represent all the people of Itako Federal Constituency. I am from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to make a presentation of 3 reports. 1, that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Environment on a bill for an act to regulate the profession of forestry in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 801. 2, that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Environment on the proposed internally generated revenue and expenditure budget of the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRA, for year 2021, pursuant to Order 20 20 Rule 36Q of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives. 3, that the Committee on Environment, that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Environment on the need to investigate the dredging activities of Dangote Refinery and Lekki Port LFTZ Enterprise Limited in the coastal fishing communities of Ibeju Lekki, Lagos State, HR 120, 12/2020. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I wish to lay the report. I so move.
Honorable Uju, please second. Honorable Kingsley Uju, please second. No, I want you to second the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
You second as directed.
My name is Honorable Uju Kingsley, member representing Ohajebema Oguta Oru West Federal Constituency. I second the motion as ably moved by my colleague, as directed by Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will advise, because you are normally a very attentive legislator. I will advise that you try and distract yourself from Honorable Osai. He has the capacity to distract people. Please. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Guma, please lay your report. The first order of the day is consultation of two bills. Honorable members, we may wish to know that the bills are on the same subject matter, and I invite the Chairman, Committee on Rules and Business to move that the bills be consolidated.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Samfulata. I represent Borneo Agrika Samaguri Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, consolidation of two bills, a bill for an act to establish Federal University of Land Resources Technology, Aforola, Imo State Establishment Bill 2021 HB 1275, a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Land Resources Technology, Owerri, to provide for full-time courses, teaching, instructions, and training in land resources technology, and to carry out research in development and adaptation of techniques, and also make provision for appointment of provost and the officials of the college to carry out the administration and discipline of students of this college, and for related matters, HB 973. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder to that, please? For the consolidation, any seconder? Honorable Nwokolo, please second.
Right, Honorable Speaker, respected colleagues, my name remains Honorable Victor Nwokolo, member representing Ika Northeast, Ika South Federal Constituency. I rise to second. The motion has moved by the Chairman, Business and Rules, for the consideration of the two bills. I so second.
Thank you. Those is about to say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Don't allow Honorable Faleke to disturb you. Chairman, Committee on Business, please schedule a date for the commencement of debate. Second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria Act number 2, 2019 to extend the tenure of the Resolution Cost Fund, grant access to the special tribunal established by the Bank and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020, and to confer on it the power to take possession, manage, foreclose, or sell, transfer, assign, or otherwise of asset or property used as security for eligible bank assets and for related matters, starting name of the House Leader. Honourable members will recall that the bill was transmitted from the Senate seeking concurrence of the House and read the first time on Thursday, 6th May 2021, and I invite the Leader of the House to move that the bill be read a second time. House Leader, AMCON bill.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Al-Hassan Ado Dogwa is my name. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I represent the good people of Tudunwada Dogwa Federal Constituency from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that a bill for an act to amend the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria Act number 2, 2019 to extend the tenure of the Resolution Cost Fund, grant access to the special tribunal established by banks and other financial institutions, Act 2020, and to confer on it the powers to take possession, manage, foreclose or sell, transfer, assign or otherwise of asset or property used as security for eligible bank assets and for related matters, HB 132, a Senate bill, be read the second time. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Any Honorable Nkiru?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Kiru Kaunye George. I represent the good people of Isukwatu Munoji Federal Constituency. I am from Abia State. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by the House Leader. I so second.
Okay, Leader of the House.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Okay, I think it's
Speaker, honorable members.
It's straightforward, right?
It's a straightforward bill, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. And for obvious reasons, these are some amendments in respect of the legislative framework to do with this establishment. And I want to believe my honorable members can see reasons with the Senate and allow this bill to go for the second reading. I so commend and submit, sir. Thank you.
Reason for what? For the bill to go? What, Leader, what was the reason?
Sir, like I've argued, sir, the reason being that as a bicameral legislature, these bills have been discussed and they have undergone public hearings at the Senate. And I also feel that going by some of the legislative amendments made to put together these institutions that are working hand in hand, the House members should see reason to concur with the Senate and allow this bill go for the second time. I believe legislative proceedings and procedure have been duly followed by the Senate.
Let me very quickly say this, Leader of the House.
Please.
The House will now task you with a responsibility. Mutatis mutandis. The same way we give them that privilege, and I'm saying this in open floor, of concurring to the bills, I think you should talk to the leader of the Senate. There are many bills outstanding from the House in the Senate that require the same mutual concurrence, and we will begin to study it. So that is your responsibility. I'm speaking on behalf of the House. You have to follow up our bills in the Senate, the dispatch. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is noted. I will follow it up.
Honorable Toby.
Authorizing the issuance of
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Toby Okechukwu. I represent an area of Goji River Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, I am aware of your instruction or mandate to the leader of the House that mutatis mutandis, that he should be able to convey the same feelings, the same desires of the members of House of Representatives that have an armada of bills that have been passed in the green chambers that are lying there in the Senate for concurrence. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remember very vividly that the Deputy Speaker, while chairing a committee of the whole, passed a bill on road fund, passed a bill on Federal Roads Authority. For the past 2 years, it has not been concurred by the Senate. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the reason adduced by the leader is in the spirit of having a National Assembly. But that spirit also requires there should be a concurrence. So I would expect that the leader should give us the reasons. He should essentially give us the reasons by debating the principles of this bill, because I remember that the chairman, Banking and Currency, brought this bill on amendment of asset management company. He brought it, we debated it, and there were some issues that were raised. If they have been cured by the bill we are going to concur now, let us know. If it has not, let us know. But we wouldn't be passing the bill based on the fact that we are a bicameral legislature and that we are working together. No. The bicameral nature of our legislature is for checks and balances. It's for us to scrutinize what has been properly done or what has not been properly done and detect defects. When the chairman of Banking and Currency was bringing this bill, he argued and we passed it for second reading. Let the leader of the House tell us what the Senate has considered to the effect that it justifies the instructions or the requirements or the desires we had as at that time. And so, move.
What did you move for? Toby, was it a motion or what?
Honorable Toby, your point is well taken. Please let us let this one go, except there's any member on the floor that has a particular reason to oppose any of the provisions or the whole bill. Honorable Faleke, you have, really? I thought you and Honorable Wokolo were working together. Mohammed Salame, is he here? Mohammed Salame, is he here? Your computer is packed up. Come and fix it. Honorable Faleke, yes. Please call for Salami for me. Clerk, please call Salami. Let them come and fix this thing. It's not working.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is James Abiodun Faleke. I represent the Ikeja Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, at the second reading of this bill, there were observations made by members as to the fact that if you use a property to secure a loan with your bank, this new bill empowers the commission to go after any other property that you have that was not initially part of the agreement. And I think that this issue was raised, and we need to know what has been done before we concur. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Wokolo.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Victor Wokolo, member representing Ika Northeast, Ika South Federal Constituency of Delta State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, what this amendment tends to achieve is very crucial and very important at this point. Basically, we are looking for how to extend the Cost Restoration Fund, which already expired in December. Without the extension of the Cost Restoration Fund, Section 9 of the amended Act of 2019, the banks are no longer contributing because there is no legal backing for the contribution. And as of today, the liabilities unpaid is overwhelming. So it's very, very important, and I wish to appeal that we should concur with this bill. The other aspect of it is talking about where a debtor deliberately refuses to pay his debt. There have been situations, you and I know it, where people have taken money that they want to fund the aviation sector. At the end of the day, such funds find their way into Dubai. And we want to give them backing that where an investor takes money and kills the business, please get the man to book. We are not talking unjust possession of somebody's assets. What they are looking for is you must liquidate the amount you have collected, not just taking possession of your money. No, nobody wants to do it. I'm an investor, I'm a debtor.
Honorable Wokolo, I think what the observation of members is that if you secure a loan from a bank, there is a contract that goes with that. And that loan is secured with property or whatever collateral. Now, if you default, the new provision in this bill, what they're saying is that it allows you to actually go after any other property that was not part of the collateral, and that's where the problem is. And what is the justification for that?
You know, there's what they call credit history.
Credit history.
How much have you been able to discharge the facility? Nothing happens to them with impunity. They don't pay. Mr. Speaker, the law is not asking AMCON to unjustly acquire people's assets. That's not what the law is saying. But what it's saying that if you are taking 1 trillion, you are taking 200 billion, and you are leaving that business because you've used a falsified assessment to get that facilities. Whatever you are doing, get money and liquidate that. That is all. We are making people to be honest with their business. That's all this. If you won't know that they will not take possession of whatever you have elsewhere, liquidate the loan you have taken. If we don't do it, are we encouraging people to abandon the obligations they have while taking the facilities? That's we should not aid lawlessness. We should not aid dishonesty. At this point, where our economies are at the brink of collapse.
No, you're right, but you know these powers can be abused. What if you secure a loan, you, Victor Nwokolo?
Yes,
you secure a loan of say 100 million, and you secure it with property of 150 million. Can AMCON now decide, you know what, I'm not even interested in this your 150 million property. You have this property of 1 billion. That's the one I want to go after. Is that what the law is saying?
I take a loan of 20 million, and I have an asset of 10 million somewhere, and I have something that I have still 10 million that I have not liquidated. All the AMCON is saying that we'll get our 10 million to satisfy what you have taken.
The bank has an obligation to have made sure that the collateral you put down in the first place covers the loan.
We know, but
yes.
By the time you see what is going on, sir, what is happening outside is all over the place.
Is this preceded by a court order?
Speaker.
Or you just go after it?
Mr. Speaker.
No, of course, you can't. They just,
Mr. Speaker.
Course, because...
Honorable Nasir. Okay, okay, we'll come back. After Nasir, we'll come back to the leader, and I think Toby too has something to say.
My name is Nasir Ahmed. I represent National Federal Constituency, and I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, just to add to what you have said, before any bank gives a loan, it does its due diligence. That's the first thing that they do. And there is no way a bank will give a loan for, let's say, 200 million, and you're providing a 20 or 30 million naira collateral. When that happens, then you know that people within the bank are the ones that have inflated the value of that collateral that you are giving us a loan. So there is no way that a bank that is given a loan of 200 million naira, for example, will now give you a value of 50 million naira for your property and still give you that loan. You will know that there's collaboration within the bank. Mr. Speaker, I do not believe that if you give your property as a collateral to a bank, after due diligence has been done, usually the banks look for a 200% difference in the value of the property. So if a bank is giving you a 50 million naira loan, usually that property is about 150 million naira. And that's the way it is. So, exactly. So where there's an issue like that, there's definitely an insider collaboration within the bank, Mr. Speaker. I thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Leader of the House. Leader of the House.
Sorry. Sorry, please. Osai, please. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I just rise to maybe bring to the fore of these chambers to just remind us of what we know. In a circumstances like this, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, when a law is brought to the floor of this House for concurrence, after following what all the kind of legislative due process on the other side of the National Assembly, it is, of course, at a very crucial stage. Mr. Speaker, I also believe that some of the concerns raised here are germane and genuine. So in order for us not to throw the baby along with the bathwater, I, as mover for the second reading of this bill, would like to step down this bill and interface more with the Senate so that we can be able to really tidy up some of those gray areas that are genuinely raised by our colleagues here, so that we now take the right shapes out of the bad ones and we get the bill passed at an appropriate time. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I plead with you that we stepped it down for further legislative action. Thank you.
Yes, I think the leader, what we have here, Honorable Victor, what we have here, I'm coming, what we have here is the fruit of the poison tree. You have a very good bill, and then one little thing might contaminate the whole thing. So we can remove that part of it, like I said, aside then leader of the opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Relying on order 12, Mr. Speaker, which you know, that if a bill comes, whether it's coming from the Senate or it's coming from the House of Representatives, a compendium giving details of the bill must be provided. And because those details were not before us, National Assembly members, especially this chamber, might not have all the facts. So interfacing with the Senate at this point in time might not be all that totally necessary, but we have to be informed about the details of that bill. Because a copy of that bill...
Honorable sir, you were the one that supported that we carry the day, just all of a sudden you are...
Sir, argument change, sir, and reasons adduced. Sir, no, I'm coming.
Exactly.
I'm basing my point of order and explanation based on the current reality. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, what is fact is fact. The most important thing is that honorable members be provided with compendium and this bill for us to look at it.
That is what interface means.
And be rescheduled. And be rescheduled for another day for
All right, thank you. The mover of the bill has stepped it down, but just we'll just allow the minority leader to say something and then we'll step it down. Minority leader.
No problem. That's what I want. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name remains Honorable Ndudi Godwin Elmelu, and I represent the good people of Anyocho Shimli Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, I think the best thing, in addition to the House Leader's submission that they interface with the Senate on the bill, I think it would be nice. It would be nice that we allow the House Committee Chairman on Banking, who is also part of the bill, to look at that bill critically. If that clause offends what general members are worried about, it should be removed so that they can bring it back and represent it. Yeah. And that solves the problem in interfacing with the Senate. Yeah. That's just my simple submission.
Yeah, okay. The bill stepped down as per the request of the House Leader to tidy up some gray areas. The third order of the, honorable colleagues, I think we have to quickly take the presentation of a report, which is part of our supplementary order paper, before we move on to the next order. Just very quickly. The next presentation of the day is presentation of a report for the Committee of the Federal Capital Territory and Federal Capital Territory Area Councils and Ancillary Matters on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account, the total sum of 329,963,491,523 naira only, of which the sum of 74,323,382,813 naira only is for personnel costs, and the sum of 58,728,614,466 naira only is for overhead costs, while the balance of 196,911,494,243 naira only is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja for the financial year commencing 1st January 2021 and ending on 31st December 2021, standing in the name of Honorable Abdullah Idris Garba. Honorable members will recall that the bill was referred to the committees on Tuesday, 15th December 2020. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Garba is invited to represent the report. Honorable Garba.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, good morning. My name is Abdullah Idris Garba. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Abdullah Idris Garba, Chairman House Committee on FCT. I rise to move a motion that House do receive the report of the Committee on FCT and Committee on FCT Council and Area Auxiliary Matters on the FCT Statutory Appropriation Bill 2021. I so move, Right Honorable Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable. No. Honorable TJ.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm Yusuf Ahmed Tijani, member representing Okene, Ogonabugo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as moved by the Chairman FCT. I so second.
Honorable Abdullahi, we have either take you through debate or we'll let it go. I don't know. Okay, submission of report. Where are your commissioners? This includes commissioners, right? This monetary, where are they?
It's inside. As soon as the budget is passed, commissioners will be submitted.
Okay. All right. Those in support say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Is there your report? This is our state, Federal Capital Territory. I hope you know that. Order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish the Admiralty University of Nigeria, Ibusa, as conventional university with selected programs, limited and focused faculties to promote scholarship, research, and other means of advancement of knowledge, and its practical application to military hardware and software, and provide an opportunity for acquiring a higher and liberal education in Nigeria, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Yusuf Adamu Gagdi. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 19th May 2021, and I invite Honorable Gagdi to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I'm Yusuf Adamu Gagdi. I represent Panshinkanke Kanam. I'm from Plateau State, Mr. Speaker. I rise to move that a bill for an act to establish the Admiralty University of Nigeria, Ibusa, as a conventional university with selected programs, limited and focused faculty to promote scholarship, research, and other means of advancement of knowledge, and its practical application to military hardware and software, and provide an opportunity to acquiring a higher and liberal education in Nigeria, and for related matters, HB 133 will move for second reading. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Elumelu. What state is this place? This thing being Delta? No wonder. No wonder. I was wondering why Honorable Elumelu was second. Honorable Elumelu, go ahead.
Speaker, you are becoming a statesman.
I was just wondering.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain honorable to the Godwin Elumelu, and I represent the good people of our Oshimile Federal Constituency. I'm proudly from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion moved by the House Committee Chairman on Navy. I so second.
I think it's a straightforward establishment bill. So, Honorable Gagdi, we'll just put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, as a follow-up to what happened, the liaise with committees. So you have to work together with the leaders so that we can streamline a lot of these issues before they come to the floor of the House. The third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act. Oh, yeah, sorry. Clerk. Just read the long title.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish the Admiralty University of Nigeria, Ibusa, as a conventional university with selected programs, limited and focused faculties to promote scholarship, research, and other means of advancement of knowledge, and its practical application to military hardware and software.
Chairman Business.
And provide
We'll
an
see you.
opportunity of acquiring a higher and liberal education in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Navy. The third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Paramilitary Academy, Ijebu-Igbo, with power to award degrees in accordance with academic standards prescribed by the National Universities Commission and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Adekoya Adeshegun. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 14 November 2019, and I invite Honorable Adekoya to move that the bill be now read the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Adeshegun Abdul-Majid Adekoya, representing Ijebu North, Ijebu East, Ogun Waterside Federal Constituency. I'm an Ijebu man from Ogun State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Paramilitary Academy Ijebu-Igbo with power to award degree in accordance with academic standards prescribed by the Nigerian Universities Commission and for related matters. I so be allowed to be read the second time. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Honorable Luga.
Chairman SDG, allow the speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, I am Representative Taiwo Oluga. I am from Osun State, Irewole, Ayedade, Shopon Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to second the motion as moved by our leader. I so second.
It's also, I think, an establishment bill that is straightforward. Those who support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. A long title.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Paramilitary Academy, Ijebu-Igbo, with power to award degrees in accordance with academic standards prescribed by the National Universities Commission and for related matters. Second reading.
We refer to the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services. Fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish the National Polytechnics Regulatory Commission and National Commission for Polytechnics and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Seidu Musa Abdullahi and Honorable Frederick Agbedi. Honorable members will recall that the bills were consolidated on Tuesday, 8 June 2021, and I invite Honorable Abdullahi to move that the bill be read a second time. Honorable Abdullahi.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Abdullahi has requested me to step down the consideration of this, the second reading of this bill for further consultation. I so move that the bill be stepped down by the leave of the House. I so move.
Bill stepped down by leave of the House. Fifth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Energy Commission of Nigeria, Cap E10, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make it compulsory for the federal government through the commission to harness, explore, and utilize other sources of energy other than hydro and gas energy sources in Nigeria. And for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Yusuf Buba Yakub and Honorable Benny Lar, honorable members will recall that the bills were consolidated on Wednesday, 17th March 2021. I now invite Honorable Benny Lar to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Benny La. I represent Langtang North and South Federal Constituency in Plateau State, the home of peace and tourism. Mr. Speaker, of course now. Mr. Speaker, may I move for a bill for an act to amend the Energy Commission of Nigeria to make it compulsory for the federal government through the commission to harness, explore, and utilize other sources of energy other than hydro and gas energy sources in Nigeria and for related matters. I so move.
Yes, any seconder? Honorable Kiru.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm not acting weak. I'm not acting. My chair is here. I am Kiruka Oyejocha. I represent the good people of Isukwatu Federal Constituency. I am from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second this beautiful bill that is going to establish an institution in peace-loving constituency of Plateau State. I so second.
Thank you, Honorable Benny. I think this is amendment just to accommodate renewable energy, and yeah, right, to accommodate renewable energy in laws.
It's called Act
Yes.
of the Energy Commission, which
Yes.
is already in existence.
Yes, I know.
So-
That's what I'm saying, to accommodate and include renewable energy and not just
to
fossil
coordinate-
fuels.
Yes, what the bill seeks to do is to provide the commission with more powers.
Yeah.
To coordinate all the policies, programs, etc., to make it a focal point on renewable energy. Right now, we have many different agencies of government doing different things on renewable energy. The Ministry of Agriculture does solar lights, rural electrification, you know, many different agencies, and the state governments too. But we don't have a coordinating point. And we need the the Energy Commission, who is by law responsible for all matters of renewable energy, to take charge. And the bill also seeks to establish an energy and efficiency conservation fund, which is being done in other countries. And Mr. Speaker, what we seek to do with this bill is for all fossil fuel companies, all companies registered in the production of crude oil, to provide or to pay 1% of their income into this fund so that we can run the renewable energy program for the country.
Okay. So this is more like another PIB, Energy Industry Bill. Very good. Good bill. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Luke, you are welcome. Long title, please. Clerk.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to amend the Energy Commission of Nigeria Act, Cap E10, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make it compulsory for the federal government through the commission to harness, explore, and utilize other sources of energy other than hydro and gas energy sources in Nigeria, and for related matters. Second reading.
Okay, the bill is referred to the Committee on Science and Technology. The sixth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act. Where's the Deputy Speaker? Okay. The sixth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to establish the Alex Ekweme Federal Teaching Hospital, Abakaliki, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Chinedu Oga. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 6 May 2021, and I invite Honorable Oga to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished colleagues, Honorable Comrade Chinedu Oga OON, represent Ikwa Ezasa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I stand to move that a bill, establishment of Alex Ekweme Federal University, Abakaliki, should be read for second reading. I hereby move.
Any seconder? Reformatory. Okay, who's that? Oh, okay, is that fair? All right.
Mr. Speaker, our fellow honorable members, I remain Honorable High Chief Ifiafe, member representing the good people of Okwe, Sapla, and Udia Federal Constituency. I second the motion as moved by the honorable member from Ebonyi State. I beg to second.
Honorable Oga, another establishment bill. So I'll put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish Alex Ekweme Federal Teaching Hospital, Abakaliki, and for related matters. Second reading.
The bill passed to the Committee on Health Institutions. Honorable members, you may recall that on May 19th, 2021, the House passed the Federal Medical Centers Establishment Bill, and the same was passed by the Senate, but with some differences here and there. The following members are nominated as conferees to resolve the areas of differences in the bill between the House and the Senate. Mohammed Ali Wudil, Chairman. Taiwo Oluga. Honorable Aruna Michela. Honorable Pascal Obi. Honorable Achibong Henry. Honorable Dachong Musa Bagos. Yes. Where have you used?
Respected colleagues, the seventh order of the day is commencement of a debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to give legal backing to state security outfits to complement the Nigerian police force and for related matters, studying now Honorable Anthony Afe. Honorable Anthony, I want members to call that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 22nd April 2021, and now invite Honorable Afe to move that the bill be read second time.
Mr. Speaker, fellow honorable members, I stand to present a bill for an act to alter the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to give legal backing to the state security outfit to complement the Nigerian police force and for related matters, House Bill 1305. I beg to move.
Seconder? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Rashid Olalekan Afolabi. I represent the entire people of Ifelodun, Buripe, and of the Federal Constituency. I'm from Osun State. I rise to second the motion moved by my honorable colleagues, Honorable I Chief Afeife. I so second.
Honorable Anthony.
Mr. Speaker and fellow honorable members, I remain Honorable High Chief Efeafe, member representing the good people of Okpe, Sapele, and Uye Federal Constituency of Delta State. Mr. Speaker and dear colleagues, the beauty of constitutional democracy is that the legislature is saddled with enormous responsibility to continually amend the Constitution to meet the changing needs of time. Hence, the 233-year-old United States of America constitutional democracy is still witnessing amendment to our Constitution. We have, therefore, this day a bill to amend the Constitution as proposed in the bill read before the Honorable House in November 2020. Mr. Speaker and fellow members, some of the provisions sought to be injected into the Nigerian Constitution as amended by way of amendment are clear provisions seeking to provide legal backing for the creation of state security outreach as a way of complementing the Nigerian police force. The rampant and widespread violence crime in every nook and cranny of the country has no doubt overwhelmed the Nigerian police as presently structured both in personnel capacity as well modus operandi. Mr. Speaker and fellow members, the embedded security challenge makes it imperative for the scope of policing to be expanded to make the state government and council play a defined and more active role in funding and pulling personnel who are expected to be more knowledgeable about their environment in the key aspect of intelligence gathering and crime busting and other crimes defined as federal crimes under the proposed new police architecture as envisaged in the proposed constitutional amendment. The Constitution of our country under section 214 has vested explicitly in the Nigerian police the duty of maintaining law, order, as well as the protection of lives and property. But the onslaught of crime of diverse nature and their rampancy in almost every nook and cranny of the country has abated various military and vigilantes, which intervenes role restored order in many parts of the country, where overwhelmed police prove incapable of discharging their primary responsibility. The stark reality of the indispensability of local policing of the polity has continued to lead to the agitation for state police or local government police, as well as the members of various bodies, performing the functions of the police force outside the police structure, which is not legal or constitutionally enough as long as we prescribe to the constitutional democracy under the 99th Constitution as amended. Mr. Speaker and fellow members, we cannot live in denial of the fact that our security challenge must be tackled in the best template that promotes nationhood, that respectfully fair on elected members of the National Assembly to exploit the legitimate lawmaking framework to work out a solution that is in tandem with democratic tenets. Mr. Speaker and fellow members, the amendments sought to be injected into this session circumvent address the reservation of those who rightly fear of the local police being open to be used for local political ends, when the local police proposed is in the nature of subsuming state stroke local police wings under the federal. Mr. Speaker, we all know the importance of the cry for state police and everything. Each state is coming up with different laws, state laws, local government EDs, and what have you. There's need for us to structure it in the constitutional amendment for it to have a legal backing, so we don't have different outfits that are uncoordinated. Mr. Speaker, I pray the Honorable House to look at this very bill and pass it for a second reading. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The question now is those in favor that the bill be read second and say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to give legal backing to state security outfit to complement the Nigeria Police Force and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to ad hoc committee, special ad hoc committee on constitutional review. Respected colleagues, the eighth order of the day is commencement of a debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Science and Technology, Kosubosu, Kwara State, and to make comprehensive provisions for its due management and administration and for related matters. Standing in the Honorable Mohammed Umar Bio. All members will call the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 13 February 2020, and now invite Honorable Bio to move that the bill be read the second time.
The Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues, Mohammed Omar Bio is my name. I speak for the people of Barutina and Kayama Federal Constituency. I come from Kwara State. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I move that a bill for an act to establish a Federal University of Science and Technology, Kosovo, Kwara State, and to make comprehensive provisions for its due management and administration, and for related matters, HB 696, be read for the second time. I so move. Mr. Speaker.
Second. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name remains Honorable Dennis Idahosa. I represent the good people of Ovia Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Edo State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Honorable Bio, in 1 minute.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, my dear honorable colleagues, Mohammed Umar Bio is my name. Like I said, I stand in for the people of Barutina and Kayama Federal Constituency. I come from Kwara State. Mr. Speaker, I move that the bill for an act to establish the Federal Medical Center, Federal University of Science and Technology, Kosovo, Kwara State, and to make provisions, comprehensive provisions for due management and administration and for related matters. Mr. Speaker, my dear honorable colleagues, we all know that Kwara State comprises of 3 senatorial districts.
the Kwara South, the Kwara Central, and the Kwara North. Abarche local government is a local government in the northern part of Kwara State. It is the second largest local government in Nigeria. It is with an estimated landmark of 9,935.5 kilometers that is generally used for farming in commercial quantity. The local government is the closest local government to the Republic of Benin, and Kosovosi is the headquarters. Kosovosi is one of the towns that link Nigeria to the Republic of Benin, and the people are predominantly farmers. The identified qualities create opportunity for people from far and near to settle in that place to transact business, particularly in agricultural product. It is one of the economic hub of the nation with existence of national and international businesses. Their both unique features attract influx of different people into the area. And this, of course, begins for an educational institution that will promote research and enhance standard of living of the people. Unfortunately, there is no significant federal government presence in the area, particularly in terms of educational institution that will further open up the place. Mr. Speaker, my dear honorable colleagues, there is no doubt that science and technology has taken over the entire world, and there is virtually nothing one will do without recourse to knowledge in science and technology. The basic thing a nation could do to be relevant in this development is by providing skills and education in science and technology direction. This can only be provided by establishing a university that will provide a second to none education in science and technology in an environment that is peaceful and accessible to citizens and foreigners. These unique features of Kosovo has not over the time been explored. And the setting of the University of Science and Technology in that place will not only create the presence of federal government in that axis, it will also solve the problems of unemployment and generally improve economic development of our dear country. Undoubtedly, my dear honorable colleagues, there are both factors coupled with the presence of different people from far and near in that place. Peaceful environment influences my thoughts to propose and seek for the Parliament approval to provide for a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Science and Technology, Kosovo, and to make comprehensive provisions for its due management and administration and for related matters as a strategic location to the entire northern part of the country and the adjoining states of Niger, Oyo, Osun, Ogun, and Kebbi states respectively. The bill seeks to achieve the following objective. Right, Mr. Speaker? Huh? Is that what? Okay, the objective of the bills are provide the legal framework to establish the Federal University of Science and Technology, Kosovo in Kwara State, encourage the advancement of learning in science and technology related matters.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you.
Okay. Bill have no prayers.
Okay, don't do.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so move.
Thank you. The question now, there are those that are in favor that the bill be read to content, say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Clerks is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish Federal University of Science and Technology, Kosovo, Kwara State, and to make comprehensive provisions for its due management and administration and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee on Tertiary Education and Services. Respected colleagues, the ninth order of the day is a motion on need to reconstruct Upper Siloko Road in Edo State, standing in the Honorable Dennis Dahosa and 9 others. Honorable Dasa is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name remains Honorable Dennis Idahosa. I represent the good people of Ovia Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Edo State. I rise on the need I rise to move a motion on the need to reconstruct Upper Siloko Road in Edo State with 9 others. The House notes that Upper Siloko Road in Edo State linking Ogbese in Ondo State and other states in the country serve as an alternative route for commuters who are predominantly farmers in the transportation of their products, produce and services. Concerned that the deplorable state of the road has been causing untold hardship to users for a long period of time, leading to the loss of revenue, man hours, and destruction of perishable goods. Also concerned that the current state of the road has made it a haven for kidnappers and other criminal elements to thrive in their activities. Cognizant that the timely reconstruction of the road will boost the economic activities in the area and the country as a whole, as well as reduce the crime rate and accidents. The House resolved urge the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing to commence reconstruction of Upper Siloko Road in Edo State through Ogbese in Ondo State. And the second one is the House mandate the Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure implementation. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder. Yes, sir.
My respected colleagues, I remain Honorable Israel Sonigoli. I represent Bass Member Federal Constituency and from Bayelsa State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Yes, very colleague, this is an infrastructure motion, so I now put the question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's it. Colleagues, the 11th order of the day is a motion on need to resolve leadership crisis. Sorry. The 10th order of the day is a motion on need to prioritize preservation of our Ikari Dam standing now on Honorable Manuel Udo. Honorable Udo is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. My name is Honorable Emmanuel Ukpondo. I represent Ekonini Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to move a motion on the need for prioritization of Nkari Dam in Akwa Ibom State. The House notes that Nkari is a community in a local government area of Akwa Ibom State, and the people of the area are predominantly farmers and known for commercial production of rice, palm produce, cassava, and cocoa. Also notes that Nkari Dam project, covering over 37 hectares of land, was initiated over 20 years ago under the Ministry of Water Resources to provide for irrigation, control of flooding, and generate electricity, among others in the area. Aware that in 2018, the federal government approved a sum of 5.7 billion naira for completion of the dam with other dams in the northern part of the country. Concerned that the contractor was mobilized to commence the job but abandoned the project, a development that has caused loss of lives and rendered many homeless due to uncontrolled flooding. Cognizant that if the project is completed, it will control flooding and the water properly channeled for irrigation purposes, thereby enhancing environmental protection of economic activities in the area. Resolves to urge the Federal Ministry of Water Resources to prioritize the completion of Nkari Dam in the 2022 budget estimates. Mandate the Committee on Water Resources to ensure implementation. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Honorable Luke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Luke. Etinan Nsirubion Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. I rise to second this motion moved by Honorable Emmanuel Ukpondo.
Colleagues, this is an infrastructure motion, so I don't put the question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Let's very colleagues, the 11th order of the day is motion on need to resolve the leadership crisis of the Nigerian Institute of Oil Palm Research, standing in now Honorable Abiante. Honorable Abiante is invited to the motion. Goro, second the motion.
That's what he said. He has to be as a. Yeah.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm from Kano State. And my name is Comrade Amin Suleiman. I represent Pagi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand to second the motion heavily moved by Honorable Abet. So I move. So I second.
Which motion? Abiante is not even on the floor. Chairman, step down the motion. Abiante is not on the floor, and my attention has been drawn to the fact that this motion, particularly, there's a case standing in the court, industrial court particularly.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that item number 11 on the order paper be stepped down by the leader of the House. I so move.
Motion stepped down by the leader of the House. Respected colleagues, the 12th order of the day is a motion on need to reinforce guidance and counseling in schools across the country, standing in the name of Honorable Okon Ikong. Honorable Ikong is invited to move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, honorable Ekong is not on the floor. I move that the motion be stepped down by the leader of the House. I so move.
Motion stepped down by the leader of the House. Comrades, the 13th order of the day is a motion on need to investigate the level of disbursement of agricultural credit loans and facility to farmers from 2009 to date, standing in the name of Honorable John Okafor. John Okafor was invited to the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Very distinguished colleagues, my names are Chike John Okafor. I represent the good and enterprising people of the Yemen Bano, Ihite Uboma, and Obo Federal Constituency. I am from Imo State. I rise to move the motion titled "The Need to Investigate Disbursements of All Agricultural Loans and Credit Facilities to Farmers from year 2009 to date to enhance national food security." The House notes that between 2009 to date, the federal government has approved the disbursement of funds to farmers in various schemes to the tune of over 275 billion naira, ranging from commercial agricultural credit scheme to the Nigerian incentive-based risk-sharing system for agricultural lending to help farmers improve agricultural production and guarantee food security in Nigeria. The House also notes that apart from increasing food supply, the scheme is to grant agricultural loans to large and small-scale commercial farmers to lower the prices of agricultural produce, generate employment, and increase foreign exchange earnings.
aware that since the approval, most farmers have not been able to access the loans due to stringent requirements being demanded by banks from prospective borrowers and the alleged siphoning of over 105 billion naira meant for farmers by management of the NISAL. Concerned that food production has not attained the expected level despite the approval of the over 275 billion naira facility to farmers. Worried that the projected diversification of the economy from oil production to agricultural production and increase in agricultural output, food supply, and promoting low food inflation will not be achieved if farmers are unable to access loans meant to increase agricultural production. The House is hereby invited to resolve to mandate the Committee on Banking and Currency to investigate disbursements and compliance of all agricultural loans and credit facilities to farmers from the year 2009 to date to enhance national food security in the country. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I so move.
Seconder. Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable colleagues, my name is Babangida Alasan Abdallah, representing the Ala Federal Constituency from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I stand upon the motion ably moved by Honorable John Okafo, as he presented. I so second.
Thank you. This is more of an investigative motion, so there's an amendment coming from Honorable Sijolo. Are you the one? It's not your name written here. Where?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Odebo Mishegun is my name. I represent the good people of Surulere of Golua Federal Constituency. I rise to propose an amendment to the only prayer of the motion to include the Committee on Agricultural Production to join the investigation.
Seconder.
Is it not the farmer
Yes, sir.
Call the farmer to benefit from it?
I want to second that amendment because we are talking about agriculture and farmers. I want to own it up to say that it was an omission, an oversight by me not to have included the committee that, because eventually they may also move to a point of having public hearing and the farmers will be invited. So I think it is in order that the relevant committee of agriculture should be part of the committee to look at this motion if and when approved by the House. Thank you, Mr.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion referred to the relevant committees of the House. Respected colleagues, the 14th order of the day is a motion on need to address the spread of communal clashes, killings, and destruction of properties in Shongom local government area of Gombe State. Standing now, Honorable Karu Simon Elisha. Honorable Karu is invited to move the motion. Karu is not on the floor. Okay.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Karu Simon Elisha. I represent Kaltungo Shongom Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Gombe State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move the motion on the need to address the spate of communal clashes, killings, and destruction of properties in Shongom local government area of Gombe State. The House notes that Shongom local government area of Gombe State has over 10 ethnic groups who have coexisted in different communities for decades. without recourse to violence, and the ethnic nationalities have shared cultural and other social values, which makes it difficult to identify any form of distinction or variation among them, which has helped to sustain peace and harmony over the decades of their peaceful coexistence. The House also notes the sporadic conflicts over farmlands between dwellers of different communities, which have been managed without any form of violence among the people. The House further notes that 29th May 2021 was a sad day for the communities of Shongom local government when we experienced a breakdown of law and order that led to loss of lives, destruction of properties, and displacement of over 5,000 people in the area. Aware that while such communal clashes result in the displacement of settlers, communities, it also places undue hardship on the people and their immediate environment, of which local and state authorities may not have sufficient support mechanism. Worried that the displaced persons will suffer the tremendous risk of security, health, nourishment, and social well-being, as the communities do not have access to support to meet their challenges. Concerned that any further breach of peace and order may be difficult to contain, as Shongom and Pero communities will require government and stakeholder assistance to recover from the effect of this crisis. Resolve: urge the federal and Gombe state governments to strengthen peace-building systems and develop innovative and sustainable dispute and conflict management mechanisms. Urge the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and the Northeast Development Commission to provide relief materials to the over 5,000 displaced dwellers in the affected communities of Lelepido, Filia wards, and immediate environments of Shongom local government area. Mandate the committees on NEMA and civil societies and development partners to call on development partners to strengthen peace building and psychosocial intervention programs in Shongom local government area. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Yes, Honorable. Denedi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Shehu Balarbe is my name. I speak for the people of Birnungwari, Giwa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kaduna State. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my friend and colleague. I so second. Thank you, sir.
You want to amendment? Okay.
Just to thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Ndudi Godwin Elmelu, and I represent the good people of Anyocho Shumri Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. My amendment is on prayer 1. We cannot be legislating for states, so we'll have to delete all the federal government and state. We delete government, Gombe state government. So it should read all federal government to strengthen peace building system. So where the states appear should be deleted. I so move. Can you people allow Mr. Speaker to concentrate? If you look at the prayer 1, sir, they said all federal government and Gombe state. We cannot legislate for Gombe state. So we'll delete Gombe state and allow the prayer as it is. But only Gombe state.
For jurisdictional purposes?
Yes.
Thank you. Seconder? Yes, sir.
My honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Musa Umar Galo, member representing Gorzako Federal Constituency from Kano State. I rise to second the amendment ably moved by my leader. I so second.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. Let's have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Against say nay. Let's have it. Motion referred to the relevant committees of the House. Respected colleagues, the 15th order of the day is consideration of a bill for an act to establish the Federal College for Education, ILO, Kebbi State, and for related matters. All members who recall the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Thursday, 20th February 2020. The leader will move for its consideration. Chairman Rus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Hassan Fulata. I represent Berniwa Krika Samaguri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House do consider the report on a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Education in Law, Kebbi State, and for related matters, HB 643. I so move.
Seconder. Yes, sir. Jega.
Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I'm Mohammed Umar Jega, representing Aliru Gondu, Jega Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion, ably moved by my honorable colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Respected colleagues, the 16th order of the day is consideration of a bill for an act to amend the Institute of Chartered Chemists of Nigeria Act, CAP 112, Laws of Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide for the role of chemists, the regulations of practicing fees by members of the Institute, and for related matters. Honorable members will recall the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Tuesday, 5th November 2019. I now invite Honorable Mohammed Umar Jega to move that the bill for its consideration.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues. May I move that a bill for an act to amend the Institute of Chartered Chemists of Nigeria Act CAP 1.12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide for the role of chemists, the regulation of practicing fees by members of the Institute, and for related matters. HB 180 be considered. Also move.
Seconder.
State, I represent Kaura Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to second that the report on the said bill, ably moved by Honorable Jega, that the report be considered. As so.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Colleagues, leader move that we resolve into the Committee of the Whole to consider reports.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Hassan Fulata. I represent Berniwa Krika Samaguri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House do resolve into the Committee of the Whole to consider reports. I so move.
Engineer Bala, Acting Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Engineer Sanu Bala, representing Konchi Sanya Federal Constituency. I rise to second the move the motion as heavily moved by the Chairman Plata.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The House will have a resolve into Committee of the Whole to consider reports. fellow colleagues, the first bill to be considered is for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Education, Ilo, Kebbi State, and for related matters. I now invite the Chairman House Rule to give us a synopsis of the bill.
Mr. Chairman, this is a Senate bill seeking for our concurrence. It's essentially a bill which seeks to address the challenge of teacher education in Kebbi State, to address specifically the issue of manpower. So this bill, if passed, will drastically improve teacher training in Kebbi State. So I urge honorable colleagues to concur with this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
It is just only for Kebbi State?
Not only, it's a federal institution, therefore admission is open to all Nigerians.
Thank
but
you.
Specifically, the area of where it is cited, it will be cited in Kebbi State, and Kebbi State will be the larger beneficiary of the institution.
Don't forget Section 14(4) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's for the whole nation.
Yeah.
The composition of government of Nigeria and any of it shall therefore be having the entirety of the nation. There should be no predominance. That's what it says. Thank you. Yes, sir.
To draw the attention of the House with regards to this concurrence of establishment bills. Mr. Chairman, we have a lot of establishment bills that are pending in the Senate. And any time the Senate sends their concurrence, we try to do it with speed. But the implication is that we are all parliamentarians here. I remember what happened in the 8th Assembly. I personally moved for the establishment of Federal Polytechnic Manufacturing. The same Senate moved for the establishment of Federal Polytechnic Daura. Because of the normal attitudes, we were able to do their concurrence, and they couldn't do our own. And we lost out. Federal Polytechnic Daura was established. And it is on record. In the 9th Assembly, we have never had one single concurrent on establishment. And we have a lot of establishment bills. So I think I want to suggest that the leadership of this House should try and reach out with the Senate to give the same speech, the same whatever we are doing, because we are representative of our people. We also move for these establishments, and it's for the same purpose. It's for national building, provision of employment, and to bridge the gaps. So I just want to draw the attention of the leadership of this House to also please try as much as possible to make sure we have similar concurrence with the Senate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I want to just bring to your notice that in the course of debate this morning, the Speaker specifically, the Speaker specifically requested the Leader of the House to interface with the Senate to ensure what they are praying for is being done or carried to the letter. And I still want to beg our colleagues, we are in service to our nation. We should be seen to be doing our duty, even where some are in nation who are not doing the right thing. It shouldn't be an excuse for us not to do the right thing, because Nigeria must move forward. That is my own take. And we should just do justice to whatever is before us. Why we'll deploy our own wisdom and other things to ensure that they also comply and work in tandem with us. That would be my plea. Thank you. Clause 1, 2, 7, 17. 28, 29, 31, 31. I just want to be sure that we're all moving together. 31. Explanatory memorandum. Explanatory note. Colleagues, the next bill to be considered is for an act to establish the institute, to amend the Institute of Chartered Chemists of Nigeria Act Cap 1.12. I don't know whether it's 112. Which one, clerk? Yep. It's the number I'm querying. So you could check. Law Supervision Nigeria 2004 to provide for the role of chemists, the regulations of the practicing fees fees by members of the institute and for related matters. And I invite Honorable Jega to give the synopsis of the bill. You see, I keep on saying I'm querying the numbering. That is I-12. Because you can't have 1.2 in the numbering of laws.
I 1.2. Cap I-12. Cap I-12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to provide for the role of chemists, the regulation of practicing peace by members of the institute, and for related matters. Let me YS0. The bill is put into 3 columns. The provision of the Principal Act, the provisions for the bill under consideration, and the other column is the recommendation. Yes. So the bill is simply to update the existing act to bring it in line with universal best practices. Yeah.
You close 1, 2, 5. Page what? The 5. They say cardinal, so I'm asking them. Where? Page what? So which one is 5? What we're supposed to take is the second column. And I cannot see any 5 here. Where? It's 4.
Section 4. Then I have section 4. Then 5 is this is 5. This is confusing.
I think we'll do justice to this case matter to allow, thank you, sir. Yes, sir. If you do a hazard work, it has the potential of suffering. It is the secretariat that should do this. Later for tomorrow. Thank you. Move with regard to plan to report progress.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Samfulata. I represent Borneo Akrika Samaguri Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, I am from Jigawa State. Mr. Chairman, I move that the House will revert back to plenary to report progress. I so move.
Seconder.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House return back to plenary to consider reports. I so move.
People of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Plenary to report progress. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered a report on the bill for an act to provide for the establishment of federal college for education, ILO, Kebbi State, and for related matters, and approved clauses 1 to 31, the schedules, the explanatory memoranda, explanatory note, and the long title of the report accordingly. Colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered a report on the bill for an act to amend the Institute of Chartered Chemists of Nigeria, ACAP, I-12 Laws Federation Nigeria 2004 to provide for the role of chemists, the regulations of practicing fees by members of the institute, and for related matters deferred. We approve clauses 1 to 4, deferred further consideration of the report accordingly. We approve clauses 1 to 4. That is the correct reporting, sir. Thank you. Move for the adoption of the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Samfulata. I represent Borneo Akrika Samaguri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House do adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole as read out by Mr. Speaker. I so move.
Chiroka.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Obela Chidoka, representing Idemili North, Idemili South Federal Constituency of Anambra State. As directed by you, Honorable Speaker, I hereby second the adoption of the amendment as moved by Chairman Business and Rules.
What is the motion about?
The reports. The various reports we've taken now.
What is the motion about?
Sorry, sir. The reports have just been taken. That need to be remembered. Thank you, sir.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Move for the adjournment of the House to tomorrow 11 a.m.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Samfulata. I represent Borneo Akrika Samaguri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House do adjourn to tomorrow, Thursday, the 10th of June, 2020. The 10th of June, 2021. I so move.
Yes, sir.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House I second that the House do adjourn to tomorrow, 10th of June, 2021. I so move. 11 a.m.
Do you vote the motion, say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. To Northern Caucus meeting at 2. Thank you. And I suppose the meeting have started.